South Africa, this story is no longer just about one murder. It is about patterns. It is about who keeps dying. It is about who was about to talk and never did. 12 people were identified by investigators as persons of interest in the murder of Emmanuel Mbense. Today, 4 are dead. 1 died by apparent suicide. 3 were killed, execution style. 8 remain alive, and police say arrests were days away. That is not coincidence. That is a timeline screaming for answers.
There were 12 persons of interest that both IPID and SAPS have identified as being behind the murder of Emmanuel Mbense. And Deandre Pretorius was one of those that was identified as a person of interest, together with the witness D. What is of concern and of interest is that of those 12, 8 are still alive. Deandre, we now know that Deandre committed suicide last night, but 3 others were killed assassination style. The first one was killed in March 2023, also at a filling station, execution style. The second one, October 2025, and the third one, being witness D, was also killed assassination style outside his home. Actually, the October 2025 person of interest was also killed at his home in October 2025. So the question is, are we dealing with a syndicate that is eliminating each other?
Let's strip emotion out and look at facts that do not argue. What investigators say: 12 persons of interest identified by IPID and SAPS, linked to the 2022 murder of Emmanuel Mbense, one of those named Deandre Pretorius. Another, witness D, Marius van der Merwe. What has happened since? March 2023, person of interest killed at a filling station, execution style. October 2025, another person of interest killed outside his home. December 2025, witness D murdered outside his home. Now Deandre Pretorius dies at a petrol station, reported as suicide. Foregone. Same circle, same case. That is not random violence. That is attrition. According to testimony before the Madlanga Commission, witness D alleged that Deandre Pretorius was present during an operation involving SAPS, EMPD, and private security, was allegedly involved in tubing, a torture method using a plastic bag, was present when a suspect died, was allegedly involved in discussions about disposing of the body, was allegedly linked to senior figures being called to fix the situation. That testimony alone made him central.
As I entered the house from the kitchen door, I found Fritz, that is Zander Fritz, Constable Zander Fritz, Deandre Pretorius, Kershaw Stalls, Aiden McKenzie was with us obviously, Kobus and some NPD officers I cannot identify, Jaco Hanekom, Etienne van der Walt present, and then the 2 SAPS, unknown SAPS officers from Rockpan. And a unknown male who was reported to be the suspect. After the suspect mentioned the cash, the 2 unknown members from Rockpan SAPS and Deandre Pretorius then pushed the man into the second bedroom and closed the door behind them. I then went into the bedroom where the suspect had been taken to by the Rockpan SAPS members with Deandre Pretorius. I noticed Deandre Pretorius, the suspect, with a plastic bag with the 2 SAPS Rockpan members assisting him from the right-hand side of the double bed. Tubing is where a plastic bag gets placed over a person's head, and that person gets suffocated to the point that he talks or cannot breathe, no longer breathe, and then obviously that they would obviously then ask him to talk to us, obviously to avoid this from taking place again. I entered the room and sat next to the suspect on the left-hand side of the bed. When Deandre stopped, I asked the suspect to tell me where the stolen stock was being kept. The suspect replied that he will show us. I picked up a wooden table leg that was broken from inside the room, held his legs down with it as to not touch him with my hands as he was wet. Deandre then continued tubing in with the 1 unknown Rockpan SAPS member, helping to hold him down, while the other was searching the drawers, etc.
Then something else happens. Days before his death, Pretorius reports an attempt on his life. His vehicle is shot 16 to 17 times, in broad daylight, outside his home. A man who survives an assassination attempt usually runs to protection, not to a petrol station argument that ends in death. That contradiction is why police opened an inquest, not a closed case.
Around about at 9, the victim
Okay.
He proceeded to where he stays, and then he parked in front of the gate where he stays, and suddenly a motor vehicle came. As the motor vehicle came, the motor vehicle started shooting, and out of shooting, then ultimately he tried to save his life and go underneath the vehicle. There was a total of 17 bullets which we through observation were found.
Now here is the question investigators are asking, not accusing, asking, are we looking at individuals or a network cleaning itself up? Consider this, people linked to the same case, dying one by one, before testifying or after being named, across different years, different locations, with execution-style similarities. Police sources themselves say, these deaths are not linked to Zamas. They relate to the same method under Madlanga investigation that shifts motive away from gangs and toward information containment. Witness testimony alleges that a senior EMPD figure was called to the scene. Instructions were allegedly given regarding body disposal. The witness felt forced, outnumbered, and afraid. Let's be clear, this does not mean guilt. It means investigators must ask why. A routine operation turned into silence, fear, and death, and why witnesses connected to this case are ending up dead before courts ever hear them. 4 people linked to one murder are dead, 8 remain. Police say arrests are imminent. If this is coincidence, then South Africa has the worst luck in modern criminal history. If it is not, then we are watching a system eating its own evidence. The Madlanga Commission was meant to expose Rotna. The rot is fighting back, and the real question is not who died, but who is still alive, and for how long.